Welcome back. So, opening weekend was underway, and it was a pretty good start, I would say, for the New York Yankees, who went off to a 2-1 start. Again, I had a lot of positive takeaways this weekend, personally. I was going to record right before opening day, but the game was canceled with the rain, which honestly worked out probably for the better that it was. But that was just annoying, so we couldn't. So I was like, yeah, I'll just push it back till after the series. So that's what I decided. So opening day was postponed, and I just wanted to give my before I get into this series and to this weekend, I do want to talk about some of my predictions for the year. So again, it's tough after not being biased looking at this first series, but I truly do believe in the East. Um, in the East, I would say I do truly believe the Yankees will win the AL East. Again, Toronto has unbelievable hitting, but their pitching has a lot left to be desired. But I will say, if it's true that the Yankees, the unvaccinated players, and as to this point, I think we know that Judge is probably unvaccinated and probably a few others, and they can't play in Toronto, then might change my thinking. Because if you're not bringing your best guys to Toronto to play the Blue Jays at Rogers Center, where you've always had problems, it's not going to be looking good. But I'm very much looking forward to this series this week against the Blue Jays. Big test, 4-game set. I think tonight is a big test, in particular with Manoah, who pitched very well against the Yankees last year, and honestly, he just seems like he's going to be a problem for years to come. Among with many of the other Blue Jays, obviously Guerrero, Bichette, just unbelievable. But we have Tyone Manoah tonight. Hopefully, the Yankees can win tonight. I'm probably going to go with a split for this series, to be honest. I think they might honestly lose tonight if I was a betting man. But they probably split. But I think the Yankees come out of the East. I think, again, my thing with this team is they are probably more well-balanced than just about any Yankee team that I've seen in a very long time. They're very balanced. Even their bench, there's too many infielders, which is annoying. And we're gonna get to this weekend in a minute, but IKF, honestly, at shortstop, wasn't a fan of what I was seeing. Yankee fans are already getting sick of Aaron Hicks. And what else? Other storyline, crazy way too early. Oh, Anthony Rizzo had an unbelievable weekend. I mean, again, he came out really big. He might have been the Yankees player of the weekend. He had some clutch hits, basically saved them in Game 1 and Game 2 of the series. Yesterday was, I gotta say, last night, the ninth inning was like the first inning where, I mean, everyone was on there. Like, I really thought they were going to win yesterday. I'm delusional. In the ninth inning, it was Yankees down 1. The Yankees had Judge, Stanton, Gallo. I mean, oh my God! I thought we were about to see some pinatas hit out of the stadium, but Yankees went down 1-2-3, struck out the side. Gallo, that's what I was going to bring up. Gallo's been a complete disaster. I think he'll be fine, to be honest with you, because it's only 3 games, but he needs to get it on track quick because Yankee fans are already not a fan of his, and if this continues, it's only going to continue. It's only going to exacerbate that. But I think the Yankees come out of the East. I think Blue Jays come in second. I think Red Sox come in third, and the Rays come in fourth, and obviously the Orioles come in fifth. I think it'll be very close, though, between the top 3. I think the Rays honestly take a step back this year. I think they're just due for one of those rough years. I mean, you can't keep, to me, you can't keep trading some of your best players. Like they just traded Meadows and expect to win 100 games. I just don't think it's sustainable, but I've been wrong before. So they're probably going to prove me wrong and win the East again. Totally could happen. I wouldn't be shocked. But it's other MLB storylines and predictions, just big ones out there. I think the Mariners come out of the West. I truly do think they beat the Astros. I think that's going to be the big surprise of the year. I think Seattle comes out of the West, and I honestly think the NL East is rough. I gotta respect the Braves. I think the Mets make the playoffs as a wild card, but you gotta give the world champion some respect. So I'm gonna give the Braves the NL East. The West, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. Nah, I'm gonna go with the Padres in the West. Listen, Fernando Tatis Jr. is gonna be back. They have Voit, who I think is going to go. He just seems like a San Diego type of guy. Like, he's going to hit some home runs there. They have a good team, the Padres. I know they do tend to be choke artists. I mean, in terms of, like, regular season games. Dodgers are professional choke artists in the playoffs. But I'm saying regular season, the Padres do have some. They have issues, but I do think they will turn. They are too good of a team with too much talent, in my opinion, to not make a run. I could see them coming out of the West. I could totally see it. But I would say for awards, I think Cole's. Again, we'll get to Cole in a minute. He did not have a good opening day. Got to 3 runs without getting an out, and then you saw him arguing with Billy Crystal. Not arguing with Billy Crystal, but he was mad because they were 3 minutes late. He was screaming out of the dugout. 3 minutes past a projected first pitch. I don't know. I'm like starting to lose it with Cole because he did not pitch well in the playoffs last year. In the one playoff game he pitched last year, it's just very. It's concerning to Yankee fans, and it should be. People should not minimize this. He has not been the same pitcher since the sticky stuff incident, and it is a big deal when you're paying a guy $35 million over the next decade almost. So it's a problem. It's a problem, and he better fix it, or it's going to be a rough few years for him. Severino, I will on game 2. Again, the Yankees won game 1. Donaldson walk-off hit. Great game. Bullpen has been nails this weekend. Again, very early, but that's looking like it is going to be a strength this year. Bullpen has been nails. Starting pitching other than Cole. Montgomery got drilled yesterday, which was very scary. It just could have been a disaster. That could have been a disaster. In fact, I think it was other years for the Yankees. It could have been. But Montgomery was hit with a comebacker, but he stayed in the game, which was really cool. So Montgomery stayed in the game, gave you a few innings, which was really important. So he gave up a few runs, but he was okay. First game of the year, can't ask for much. Severino was honestly one of the best things I've seen in the first 3 games, because even his command was off at times, no doubt, but his velocity, his movement was unbelievable. I think over time that's going to translate. If he stays healthy, he's going to be a very good pitcher. He's going to be a very, very good pitcher. And I think with this team, it comes down to where you're going to be. Are you going to be one of the – because, again, it's expanded playoffs this year. Are you going to be one of the expanded seeds, one of the 2 extra seeds in each league, or are you going to be one of the division leaders who gets a bye? Again, it's a huge difference, especially the Yankees, who have always been involved in these wild card scenarios the last few years. And it's generally gone pretty well. I think their record, 2015 they lost, 2017 they won, 2018 they won, and 2020, the series they won against the Indians. Urshela had a big grand slam that series, I remember. And then last year they lost. So they're 3-2 in wild card series / games in the last 5 scenarios. So again, they've done okay with them, but it's just you don't want to be. Yankee fans don't want to be in that spot again. They want to have a bye. They want to be in a good spot. But again, I would say this first weekend though is really not about the baseball. We got to talk about it. It's really the biggest Yankee story, and it's not even close right now. But Aaron Judge did not reach an extension with the New York Yankees. Oh boy, this was devastating. I'm not gonna lie, this is rough. I'm still recovering from this a little bit from the blowback. I mean, it was not. So the Yankees basically offered Judge a 7-year, $213.5 million extension, and he declined it. Honestly, I was pretty shocked because I thought that was a fair offer from us. I thought that Judge, I really thought he was going to accept it, and I was a little not pissed, but I was like, really? You're not going to sign that? It's a great deal, Aaron. Are you really going to get better? But then I said to myself, you know what? I forgot who. I think I was listening to Frank Thomas on Fox pregame, and he was just saying how listen, this guy is Aaron frickin' Judge. He's a mammoth. He is the Yankees. And people think Yankees right now, they think Aaron Judge. He is the face of their team, no question about it. No, listen, Cole's great, Stanton's great, all these guys are great, but he is the Yankees. Just make no mistake, he is the Yankees. So, which is why I don't rule out them signing him back in the offseason, although I don't think it's as high as some other people might think. I think it's unlikely he resigns, but that's a different story for a different time. But Judge is a star. There's no doubt about it. He is a superstar. He is a mammoth, although he did come up short yesterday, which, that was embarrassing. I'm sorry. I still can't get my head wrapped around the fact that Judge, Gallo, Stanton, Gallo, I can get my head around it, but they looked embarrassed. Judge had a great at-bat. Judge had a great at-bat yesterday to start off the ninth inning. I think it was 11 or 12 pitches, and I was like, holy shit, he's about to hit one over the fence right now. But he ended up striking out. Great battle, just nothing you can really do there. Stanton struck out. That was embarrassing. Then Gallo, that was predictable. The game was over. But 2 out of 3, productive weekend. I can't complain. Good weekend. Judge didn't sign the extension, and you know what? He's so marketable. He's just I'm not surprised. When I really thought about it, I'm not shocked. He deserves more money than that. I know it's age. I know he's 30 years old, but I'm telling you, in the back of his head, he's probably thinking, why should I not get $300 million? I'm not saying that the Yankees are going to give it to him, but he's going to get more than 7 for 213. And I think it's a good thing, too, because he has a hell of an incentive this year to put on a show. He has a hell of an incentive. So I think for this year, in the very, very short term, this is actually kind of productive for the Yankees. Because when a lot of guys sign, sometimes you see a slight regression after this. I mean, again, I'm not saying Judge is like that, but you look at guys like Cespedes. When he signed with the Mets, it was, I mean, you haven't heard from him since when he signed that big deal with the Mets. You haven't heard from him. He's been gone. I haven't heard his name in years. So Cespedes is gone. I'm just making the point that can happen sometimes. But he wasn't extended, and he was a little annoyed that Cashman, I think, released which I think people are reading too much into, to be honest with you, that Cashman released the numbers for the contract. But I think it's important to be transparent, especially with the blowback that the Yankees have had this offseason for not spending that much. I think it was important for them to get that out there. But it's concerning, yeah. I really wish I could have got it done, but right now I think Yankee fans just have to be focused on this year and the present and focus on all these other stuff in the offseason. But I do think what you're going to see is, I think in the NL, just for my World Series predictions, just to get it out there. In the NL, I'm not going to say the Mets because, no. By the way, the Mets better figure out that bullpen. They took 3 out of 4 from Washington, but you better watch out because that is a rough bullpen. I do not know if that's going to hold up over time. That is a huge problem that no one is talking about, and they really should. I'm going to go in the NL. I'm going to go. Wow, it's tough. I can't go Los Angeles. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I think I'm probably going to. I could go Brewers, but I feel like they're always mentioned in that sphere every year, and they never get it done, really. So I'm going to honestly go with the Padres, Yankees, World Series, because I'm not picking the Yankees. Padres, Yankees, and I'm going to go Yankees in 7. That's a great series. Yankees, San Diego would be a pretty great series, let's be honest. But yeah, so the Yankees, so that's that. But the Yankees do have a 4-game set today, which we'll preview for you. Tyone against Manoah. Again, this is a big start for, I think. This is a big game just for me to see like a measuring stick where they are. Because last year Manoah just destroyed them. And he just seems like a guy that would normally kill the Yankees that have been of the last 5 years. Not that they've been bad, but I'm just saying hard-throwing right-hander, slider, filthy. This is a big test for them, Manoah. And I think that for Tyone as well, who had a pretty good year last year, especially towards the middle and end of the year. It's important for him to get off to a strong start, I think. So I'll be looking for that tonight. But again, good pitcher, good pitching matchup. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Again, the Yankees lineup. Again, one thing I don't like, they did sit LeMahieu yesterday, which I did not like because he had a very good first 2 games of the series. I'm sorry, LeMahieu should be playing games over IKF and even Gleyber Torres at this point. That's just my opinion. So that's game 1. I think they honestly probably dropped this game, but big game nonetheless. So they lose today. Nestor against Kikuchi tomorrow. That's a win. Slam dunk. Wednesday, Cole Barrios. Barrios got slammed in his first start. Cole didn't pitch too great either, but Barrios really got slammed. I'm going to go with a win on Wednesday. So I'm going to go Yankees 2-1 in the series. And Severino Gausman. I'm going to probably go. I think they split the series, so I'm going to say lost this game, but either of the 4 games, they'll probably split, maybe 3 out of 4. That's my prediction for the series, and then they go into Baltimore, which God help us, please be a sweep. So that's going to be, so again, and by the way, a team like the Red Sox, people should not sleep on them. They're a good team. And a guy like Diekman, who, again, good reliever. I mean, he has some filthy, filthy stuff. Like, he is a good pitcher in that bullpen. He could be a problem this year. But that's all for today. I hope you guys had a good time listening, and we will probably be back. Again, it's only the first 3 games. People just need to chill out a little bit. So come probably Thursday or Friday, we'll have a new episode released for you. So I'll see you guys then.